What up, day night gang? It's your boy AM coming to you with an unboxing video. I couldn't stay in my deep voice for long. It was too funny, it made me laugh. But we have an unboxing video for you today, and what we'll be opening up is this really awesome, really cool Sega Genesis control pad. This is from Nintendo Online. We'll be opening this in a little bit. Stay tuned. Alright, we got our handy dandy knife to open up any box that stands in our way. Shout out to the cuz for giving me this super cool, super sharp knife. And what we have before us is this really cool Sega Genesis controller. This is purchased off of Nintendo Switch Online. They have an expansion pack on their online service, which they provide you with not only the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, but they also give you N64 and Genesis. Who would have thought that we would have Genesis games on a Nintendo product, but we do now. And if you want to play Genesis games, you got to get a controller. So this is pretty unique because in America, you usually got the 3-button Genesis controller, but if you were like in Japan or anywhere else, you would get the 6-button controller, and that one I would think is a little bit better, but this is more nostalgia for us in the US. And so let's take a look at this box. It's pretty cool. We have Sega Genesis. Top of that we have Nintendo, which you would never see Sega in the Nintendo. Crazy, huh? And then there's Genesis on the side, just a black pattern on the bottom, Genesis, and then here on the back it tells you how it connects to your Switch so you can actually play the games. It's pretty cool. These online products, these boxings on them, they use like the very cheapest materials, and so it's kind of a weird experience, but the controllers are like really nice, and I like them especially. And you know, I pretty much don't play the games with the actual controllers because I have like almost all of them. But what I like to do though is collect them because I think they're cool, and one day I want to like hang them up in like a frame in my house of all like these Switch controllers that they have available. They have the GameCube one if you play Smash, and so they have a bunch of those out there, and I can just get one of those and just maybe like de-wire it and then hang it up in part of my like little frame of pictures. But yeah, I got the Nintendo ones, I got the Super Nintendo, and I have this one now. I just need to get the N64, but that's kind of been out of stock for a bit now. But let's see if there's any type of plastic holding this box together. It may not have any from what I can see. So what we'll do is we'll just pull this out, and then we'll just dig right into the box and start doing this unboxing. Cool. Like I said, the box materials on these things are not that high quality. You can look at that. It's probably made from recycling, but you know, you're not necessarily looking to get this. You're looking mainly for the controller itself and how well it feels. So it comes in this cool little case. We'll just pull this out, and then we'll put that there. Whew, that looks so nice. Wow. Dang, this brings me back a lot of memories. The first in 16-bit gaming system that I ever got was the Sega Genesis. I had a cousin who had a Sega Genesis, so we ended up doing that. But later on, I ended up wanting a Super Nintendo too, so I ended up buying one. Worked a lot of summers, pulling weeds and stuff to get my Super Nintendo. And then back in the day, they came with free games, which was really nice. Nowadays, no console you buy comes with a game. But yeah, unless you get like a Switch or something, or a Wii, I mean, because the Wii came with Wii U. Not Wii U. Wii U Sports, that's right. So, this is the controller, initial impressions of it. It feels pretty good, the plastic. What's really weird though is it's really light. And I don't remember the controller ever being light, but maybe because I was just younger. But it does exactly feel how it used to. Definitely does. It's weird because you would play the games like that. I remember there was one Sega game, fighting game that came out for it, Eternal Champions or something like that. I remember I getting blisters on my thumbs because I was doing like combos. That game was so hard to like fight with because the combos were like terrible. But yeah, and the cool thing about the Sega Genesis though is when you got Mortal Kombat, you got the Blood edition with it, but you had to put a code in, which was terrible. So a lot of times you would just end up forgetting the code, and then you would never play MK with Blood. But it was like A, B, A, C, A, B, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was something like that. And then you would say Mortal Kombat, then you enter the code right, and you had blood mode on. They should just let you have blood mode from the beginning, but I don't know. I end up having to put it on layaway, and then I had to like pull a lot of weeds so I can actually buy the game. And the game was like $50, which is pretty much the standard cost for most games these days. Well, I guess it's $60. So, I mean, inflation has been okay to the video game market at least. It didn't go too crazy. But yeah, so here at the bottom we have the Bluetooth connector. You hold that, it will start pairing with your machine. Then you also got the home, and then I don't know what you call it, the picture mode. And I guess there's like another little secret thing over here. Oh, it's a little thing that you can change. It says mode on it. Interesting. But yeah, so maybe I'll play some Sonic with this. This is, yeah, it feels exactly like how I remember. I'll always like the shape of it, but it's not the best thing to feel in your hands. I think the GameCube controller is still probably the best controller of all time. What we have here is a USB-C to USB. The power of the device, plug it into this top portion here, and then you just plug it into your power station to turn it on, or to your switch dock, whatever the case may be. I love these Nintendo cords though. They're like nice and thick, and then they have like the little branding on there, like you can see right there. That's really cool. And all their products come with USB-C, which is so clever. I mean, it took Xbox finally to get USB-C, as well as PlayStation 5. So, but that's cool. Like Nintendo just jumped on it and ran with it. So awesome. And then you just get to play. Now I have so many USB-C stuff, and so as more like tech starts switching over, I have a lot of cables that I can use them for. But yeah, I love these cables. Nice and thick, and then they're very well made, and they have Nintendo branding on it. So awesome. So let me get rid of this knife, and then what I like to do, typically before I end this portion of the video, is I like to do a little thing where I say smoke, confetti, hearts, explosion, stars. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this portion of it. Stay tuned for a full-on review.
Ready?
What we do on AMPM Unboxing is we like to do the pros and cons of the device, and then we also give it a score of how we think it holds up to other things in the same category. Now for the cons of the Sega Genesis control pad. The first thing that I don't like about this particular device is the cost. It's so pricey. It comes in at $50, and so for this controller, I don't think it's worth that price. I actually don't think if you were to buy this like back in the day, it would have been $50. It probably came in like $30. And more likely, when you bought the actual system, it probably came with 2 controllers, so you didn't need to buy a third one. Just in case it broke, it probably was available, but then I don't think it was the same price as this. Second thing I don't like about this Sega Genesis control pad is that it doesn't give you a lot of options. And so this is just like, the US version of the Sega Genesis controller. I know over in Japan they had like the 6-button layout, and they brought it over to America eventually, but it'd have been nice when you're doing the purchase on the store through Nintendo that they gave you like those 2 options of like, the 3-button or the 6-button if you wanted to. And that's the one thing I didn't like about when I was buying it. They only gave you just the 3-button option. And the last thing that I don't like about it is that it's exclusive to Nintendo Switch Online platform. So if you don't have Nintendo Switch, you cannot connect this to any other device. No PC, no Xbox, no nothing that can take a Bluetooth. So that's what's pretty sad about this whole Sega Genesis control pad. Alright, now as we jump right into the out of the cons and into the pros, I want to give you what I think is the biggest pro for this particular item, is that it's retro. So if you're like me and you own a Sega Genesis, it's pretty cool to see Nintendo selling a Sega Genesis controller. I didn't think it would ever happen, and now we have it in 2022. And I think that it's pretty awesome. Just when I saw it on the Switch Online and the games, and then seeing this stuff being available, it just hit me in all the nostalgia feels. It was like I had to get it, I had to pick it up. Who cares about the price? I need to have this thing in particular. And so that is my number one pro for this device. Second thing that I like about it is that it's wireless. As you can see on the top, there's nothing connected to it, no wires. So you just connect it, wirelessly to your Switch, and you can start playing games right off the back. There's some buttons on here to access the Switch menus and things like that. And so I think that's pretty cool. Giving an old product new facelift is pretty awesome. It'd just be a little bit nicer that you could connect it to other devices. But overall, I think this, being a wireless device is pretty cool. And it also takes USB-C, which is cool too. A lot of products need to start switching over from micro USB to USB-C. And the last thing I like about the Sega Genesis controller is that it can be used as art, which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get all of these Nintendo Switch Online stuff, and I'm going to frame them on my wall. So you're going to see the NES controller, Super Nintendo, this one, and then the N64. And I think that's pretty cool because it just shows you, the history of gaming, especially for me because I owned all of those consoles. And so as an art piece, or just like, a device that you can mount on your wall for whatever reason, I think that is pretty cool as a pro. Alright, so those are the pros and cons of the Sega Genesis control pad, and I'm going to go right into the score. And just thinking off the top of the head and how I feel about this particular device, I am going to give this thing about a 5.3. I know that comes in pretty low. It's because the price for this particular device is pretty high. It's too expensive. That's just the biggest thing. If it came in like at $30, this would be like a no-brainer, I would say. I would recommend it playing all your Super Nintendo games on the Nintendo Switch Online service with this thing. But because it comes in at $50, it's just more of a thing that you are either going to buy it because you just have the extra money and you like retro stuff. That's basically what this controller is, and so that's why the score is very mid. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm honest on AMPM unboxing. Now, if you like this review and this video, be sure to give it a like. If you love it, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments if you think this thing is worth the price. I think that's going to be the biggest talking point about the Sega Genesis control pad, because it's pretty expensive, even by old standards. And other than that, I'm going to give you a big fat peace.